Right, hey guys, we're out on a one-wheel ride. Gonna try and do a one-wheel vlog. Over some bumpy sidewalk pavement here. One wheel can handle it, but you gotta pay attention all the time. Keep your weight centered. So we're gonna go down to our Marina, do a little ride down there. So I'm using a GoPro on a selfie stick. It's the first time I've ever tried to vlog with a selfie stick, so we'll see how that goes. Not using a chest strap because you kind of stand sideways on this board. So to get to the Marina, I live basically on top of a hill, and then it's about 2 kilometers of downhill to get to Lake Superior in our Marina, which brings up one of the quirks, design quirks, potentially flaws with the one wheel, because it uses regenerative braking. If you have a 100% charged board, full battery capacity, and you immediately start going downhill for an extended period of time, the board doesn't like that, and to protect itself, it may actually shut off. So you could be going downhill and the board will shut off on you. So I've done this ride a few times now, and yeah, I've got started with a completely charged board and gone downhill. I've gotten the warning. It warns you. I have a Samsung watch, and so I get the messages on my watch saying that your board is in danger of overcharging. So it hasn't shut off on me, but I've gotten a warning about it. So we're going to zigzag our way down to use up some of the battery. And I have the front and rear lights on it turned on to use up some more battery juice, because we're going to get some regenerative braking going here shortly. What can I say about this thing? This thing is a pretty amazing device. What it can do, considering its physical size, its physical footprint, I think is really impressive. If you say live you know 30 minutes an hour away from your job, or do some commuting, errand running, this can replace an electric bicycle, can replace an electric kick scooter. I bring it into stores and people look at it, but nobody said, hey, you can't bring that in here. It's a size that you can carry, but it's one major issue is it weighs too much. It's a pretty heavy device. Okay, so we're gonna go left here, and then we're gonna go down a steep hill. Hopefully we'll have used up enough battery life to not cause us to overcharge. So this is like a San Francisco type hill. Very steep. And that's the other great thing about this one wheel. You can completely control your speed going downhill. Head up over onto the sidewalk here. So we'll see if I get a warning on my watch about overcharge. So we're gonna keep going downhill here. Oh, no, didn't get a warning. We're gonna keep going down. I'm on holidays this week. I got 3 days left. Then back to the grind. All right, so it's a nice piece of trail, except it's really, really bumpy. Of course, the one wheel can handle it all because of the wheel diameter, but it moves around, especially side to side, like tilting side to side. So that feels slightly disconcerting, but it's a pretty stable platform. Eventually, you just have to trust it. Once you kind of know what it's capable of, you just trust it, and it'll generally keep you upright. Beautiful section through here. Usually it's full of drunks because there's a liquor store nearby here. Hopefully I'm talking loud enough. I'm not sure if we're gonna have wind issues, because when I use a chest strap on a bicycle, it does provide protection from the wind, I find. I got it right at chest height anyways, same height as when I make cycling vlogs. Definitely regenning here. Anyways, a totally beautiful spot here. Unfortunately, this area here has become hangout for drunks. Can't be too harsh on them because they're addicts. Okay, so we're almost at the Marina. We have to cross one of the busiest streets in the city. Okay, we got a crossing light here. So the way you get off this thing, the way I get off this thing is I jump off. There is a technique apparently for getting off, but I've never been able to accomplish it. Easiest just to jump off. Go over a bridge here, and then we'll be in the Marina. And we'll shut off the light. This has like front and rear lights, red light on the rear, white on the front. It's good for visibility, but obviously it uses up battery too. Makes a noticeable difference when you turn the lights off for range. Although I don't believe we'll be anywhere near the range. So here's our grain elevators. So I'm gonna jump off and turn off the lights. So where I live, I don't know if we are anymore, but we were the third largest grain port in the world. So okay, lights shut off. Get gloves on. Yeah, we were the third largest grain port in the world. All the grain coming from the prairie provinces heading east came through here. Still does. I'm not sure what the numbers are like anymore, but that was one of our claims to fame. So we got a bunch of these big grain elevators right on the lake shore, which were, you know, built how long ago. So some of them are not in use or falling apart. And of course, they would cost millions upon millions of dollars to tear down. And so they sit there decrepit. So now our city's actually talking. We don't actually have a trail system that runs along the waterfront. You know, we have this beautiful waterfront with these beautiful views. And 100 years ago, no thought was given that, hey, you know, it would be nice if we had a trail along the lakeshore. So most of it is private property. So now the city's in discussions with property holders to try and design some sort of waterfront trail, which they should have done 100 years ago. We have a city like a 3-hour drive south of us called Duluth, Minnesota, which is a little bit smaller than us, I think, population wise, but in terms of all that sort of infrastructure, they're what Thunder Bay could be and should be. I kind of look at them jealously that they think of all this stuff that our forefathers and the founding fathers of the city didn't think about. So this is our waterfront, and it also has a small trail system here that's not in great shape. So we're gonna pick our way through here and hopefully not crash. It's an overcast day, so the view isn't that great, but this is the view people come down here for. So I don't know if you can see that out in the distance, but that's the Sleeping Giant. It's a provincial park. You guys might not be able to see it that well because GoPros suck at that sort of distance perspective. This trail is bad. So all these bumps apparently are because of roots, tree roots. Plus where I live has a seriously harsh winter sometimes, so anything paved eventually just gets destroyed. So yeah, the Onewheel, I've had this for like a month and a half, and I'd say designing some sort of suspension system for it, I think would be a good idea. Yes, you can let air out of the tire, and that does make a difference. I've done that. But when you let air out of the tire, it also changes the handling characteristics, because the tire casing starts to flex, and you can feel that flex while you're riding it, and it's kind of weird, uncomfortable feeling. So right now I got it a little bit firmer, so it does make the ride more bumpy, but it doesn't have that flexy feeling, tire flex feeling. And it should theoretically get you more range. The other issue is you lower the tire pressure, you increase your rolling resistance. Passing on your left, sir. Thanks. So now we're at our Marina, our docks. So let's go down one of them here. Excuse me, thank you. So now we're on wood planks. There's a little lookout at the end here. So yeah, it handles these wood planks. It does move around a little bit. Like I said, you just got to trust it, and it'll generally keep you upright. Just gonna loop around. Thank you.
Do we get that anywhere?
I ordered it online. Oh, you mean rental?
Yes.
No. Passing on your right. Anyways, got stopped to talk to some tourists. And yeah, kind of embarrassed that there isn't more things for them to do here. Passing by. Excuse me. Thank you.
Normally I can't even look at a book.
It's be hard to vlog down here. People think I'm talking to them, or that I'm just crazy and talking to myself.
You want to go on this trail? Yeah. Sounds like a good idea.
Head out on another dock here. It's a bird poop. Good thing we have a fender on. There's a pretty big yacht there. Wonder if the Aquaholic has reviewed that one. We're going over dirt. Going over a little concrete ridge here, no problem. Yeah, this thing's a pretty amazing device. So we're gonna jump off with both feet. So it basically has a sensor on the front foot pad that knows that your feet are there. So when you have your feet across, basically the motor is engaged. So if you're going to get off, you have to jump off with both feet. So that's always considered the rear, and that's always considered the front, even though it will ride in reverse. So yeah, out there is what's referred to as the sleeping giant. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's like someone in a native headdress, and the headdress is flowing back there, and then there's his head, his chest, his body, and then his feet. And it's an ancient First Nations legend that's a sleeping giant. It's turned to stone, and that's a provincial park, so you can drive. It's about 75-kilometer drive to get out there. To get on top of that is a fairly arduous trek. It's about a 5-6 hour hike there and back, and you can climb up to the top of that, and the views are some of the best in Canada, North America. So these are I say sometimes that we're mildly mountainous here, and those are kind of the type of mountains that we have here. They're basically sheer cliffs with flat top plateaus, product of the Ice Age. So yeah, I don't know how well this vlog's gonna work out, especially with this view, because a lot of people want to see the Onewheel, but that would involve constantly changing the camera angle, which maybe at the end of this I'll intersperse it with some footage or riding footage. So So yeah, we're going on gravel. This thing will go over dirt and gravel no problem. The tire's so wide, it just floats over top. It'll top out at almost 30 kilometers an hour, and it'll get almost 30 kilometers of range. Longest ride I've done, I think, is 25K. 25 kilometers, I had 20% battery left. So it's realistic. Obviously, it helps to be the lighter you are, the further you'll go. So these are all the new condos that they built down here for the Thunder Bay's well off. Nothing wrong with being well off. You worked hard your life, you deserve your rewards. I ain't no communist or Marxist. So there's another little loop over there we're gonna go do.
We stopped and we have
Anyways, he's got a hose across the trail. We're not going to be able to ride over. Passing, sir. So today our province has reopened a bunch. Yeah, from the pandemic closures, today you can actually eat in a restaurant. So this morning I had my breakfast in a restaurant, some return to normalcy, but I did have to wear a face mask while I wasn't chewing or drinking. Ladies. Thanks. So yeah, there's a short amount of trail here. There's a grass hill, so we'll ride up this grass hill so I can show you guys that this thing can handle that shit. So it's a 750 watt motor on this thing, which is more than what's legally allowed on electric bikes in my province for street legal electric bikes. But then it doesn't have a really high voltage battery, so really can't take full advantage of that 750 watts because it doesn't have a high voltage battery. But it'll top out at almost 30 kilometers an hour. It'll climb hills impressively. Excuse me, passing through. Thank
you
you.
know, I've been a little lazy in the morning.
Okay, so I'm gonna get some footage of the board, get back to vlogging once we start going uphill. Oh, there we go. We got some riding footage. Maybe get some more. Yeah, so I was talking to some, I think they're students, international students here, and they're kind of disappointed that there isn't that much stuff to do down here in terms of rentals and renting bikes, etc. And I have to agree with them that there should be more of that stuff down here. And it's slowly being developed, but we're definitely behind the times compared to our sister city of Duluth. So there's a pretty nice skateboard park over here. Show it to you guys. Did I plan on doing any tricks? Although guys have started to do tricks on these things. And they've started doing racing on these things too. Oh, not gonna be able to ride up that.